Welcome to lesson 6.6. That's topic 6, lesson 6. We're going to find the whole given the part and the percent. So let's look at part 1 here. Finding the whole in a percent problem. Bree scored 90% on her math test. Good job, Bree. Out of the total possible points on the test, her score was 135. How many possible points were on the test? So we're going to think, remember, percent is part per whole. The whole happens to be 100. So part per whole, we have 90 per 100, part to whole, and I want an equivalent ratio where she scored 135, and I want to know what the whole was. Well, this is just an equivalent ratio problem, or an equivalent fraction problem from 4th grade. I need to first find simplest form as a fraction, 90 per 100, or 90 hundredths. If I divide them both by 10, I get 9 to 10 ratio. A 9 to 10 ratio is the same as a 90 to 100 ratio. And then I got to figure out what times 9 is 135. Well, I could reverse it and find out. Turns out it's 15 groups times 15. So I need to do the same to the 10. Well, that was convenient. 10 times 15 is not too bad. That's 150. So the total possible points were 150. Here's one for you to try. Bree took another math test and scored 152 points, which turned out to be 95% of the total possible points on the test. A 95, that's fantastic. What was the total number of possible points on that test? So set up your part to whole ratio and find an equivalent ratio with 152 as the part. Give it a try. We'll look at it in class. All right, now we're working with percents greater than 100, but that's no problem. Students in one classroom sold 40 tickets to the talent show. This total is 200% of the amount of tickets they sold last year. How many tickets did they sell last year? Well, again, we're going to go part to whole, part to whole. In this case, the part's bigger than the whole. It's 200%, 200 per 100. And keeping in mind, this is this year to last year, that tells me my 40 has to go on top. That's how many we sold this year, and we're trying to find out how many we sold last year. Well, again, I can just take my original ratio of 200 to 100 and simplify it. And if I divide both by 100, I get a 2 to 1 ratio. The top is double the bottom. Well, 2 times what is 40? 2 times 20. Do the same to the bottom. And last year, we sold 20 tickets. All right, now we're sort of devoid of context. We're just going to do the math. I want to know 62 and 5/10% of what is 30? Well, let's set up our ratio. Sometimes we want to use some of our other Math Ninja skills and look at a problem slightly differently. I'm going to use the words here to clue me in on what to do. It says 62 and 5/10% of what? Of, groups of, is multiply. So what I have here, 62 and 5/10% of what? Well, when I don't know what something is, I can use a variable. So I'm going to call that n. 62.5% of n, some number, is 30. Well, now I can change this into an algebraic equation. 62.5% is 62 is, if I change that to a decimal, we get that. Of is times n equals 30. Well, all right, now I can deal with this. How do I get rid of a times 625 thousandths? I divide by 625 thousandths, and I can do that if I do it to both sides. Coming over to the side here to do my arithmetic, I get 48. And so that's my answer. For the next part, I want you to try it. I want to know what 300% of what is 180. 300% of what is 180. You could do this with equivalent ratios like we did in part 1 and 2, or you could set it up using the words and what they mean like I did in the example above. Give it a try, and we'll talk about it in class. We got some straight up practice here. For the first problem, 40% of what is 80? And for the second one, 7 and 5/10% of what is 15? Give it a try. We'll talk about it. Have a great one.
Come on, dance to the cat song. Everybody dance tonight with the cat song. Cat boy, cat girl, cat beat, cat song. Cat boy, cat girl, cat beat, cat song. Cat boy, cat girl, cat beat, cat song. Cat boy, cat girl, cat beat. I'm the cat. I'm the cat. I'm the cat, baby. I'm the cat.